Alright, welcome back to the Checkered PSO Nascar. You got me host Morris173, and we're getting ready to start qualifying here for the truck series, running at the Speediatrics 200. And joining me right now, we got Ryan Guy. How are you, Ryan?
Good.
Good here. Can we join yet?
Not right now. They had to resend invites.
Oh, how come?
I think someone lagged out.
Oh, okay. So, like I mentioned, this is going to be a relatively cool day for racing. It's about 40 degrees in Iowa, which means there should be a lot of grip for especially a track where usually grip is not really a good thing because how old the asphalt is here.
Yeah, definitely. There's gonna be a lot of grip. But there's one thing that these drivers definitely gotta be worried about, and it's that seam in the middle lane. Because that will spin any truck or car out in a hurry.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how these Cup cars take Iowa, because this is going to be the first time that the Cup cars will be going to Iowa. And apparently those Cup cars can go about 170 miles an hour going into turn 1 if you get it right, which is pretty fast for a short track.
I practiced in a Cup car with Bradley, and it was 170.
Well, I'm just gonna go check Texas. He's just gonna ask Texas if we can join.
Yeah, I can. He's talking at the moment right now, so.
Okay. Sounds like you're talking about pit road and stopping at the exit of pit road.
Here, let me just. Alright, I'm gonna ask real quick.
Alright. So unfortunately, if y'all tuned into part number 1, we couldn't get North Carolina in here because he was focused on qualifying. So we'll try to get maybe a couple more drivers in before part number 2 ends, before the race. So meanwhile, we'll just wait on Ryan here.
We can join some more.
Alright.
Just getting ready to ask. Yeah. Now, my question is, who's your favorite to get the pole tonight?
My favorite to get the pole, I would have to say Bradley, because he's been on a roll with the poles lately. I think he swept all 3 poles for the for Daytona for the weekend. So he won the pole. He won the pole for the Daytona 500. He won the pole for the truck race. He won the pole for the Busch race. So it's going to be interesting. It'd be interesting if he could do it again this weekend. But actually, I don't think he won the. Yeah, he did. I think he did actually. I was thinking if he didn't win the pole for the Grand National Series, but I think he did actually. But see, you could try to make it 4 in a row.
My pick to win the pole is that 18 truck.
Yeah, North Carolina is like I mentioned in part number 1. I think he's the driver with the most guys like nervousness. You know, somebody like might need to worry about. But I know that he's fast pretty much week in, week out, and hopefully he can keep the momentum rolling.
But most of the people probably be inside.
And if y'all hear a couple voices in the background, that's just my mother on the phone with one of her friends.
Not in February.
And she is very loud.
I don't like to do it in October.
But
Typical moms with them being on the phone with their friends.
yeah, she's on speaker too. That's even worse.
Oh, that's even worse.
But I love her. She's my mother, so can't blame her.
Well,
Meanwhile, qualifying has yet to start because no one has started qualifying. Oh, there we go. First truck to go is the 2 of Mind Killer. Now, what lines do you think they'll be running around this track?
outside lane.
Yeah, I think Weasel was the first one. To me, I think was the first one to find out that the outside lane right by the wall really works, especially in the Cup cars.
Oh yeah, well, and the Xfinity cars, they're really good with the Xfinity cars. The only problem is turns 3 and 4 does get a little tad tight.
And Michael in the 2 cut that bottom real badly because he got on the apron in the middle of 1 and 2 there.
And the only thing, my only guess is it was laying on his helmet and it got covered.
Oh, he's gonna get really tight in turn 4. I don't know if he kissed the wall. I feel like he did, but it was probably like a scratch.
He had that big one he said he had. It did good.
But lap 2 is on the way for the number 2 truck.
So,
Lap number
you
2
know,
for the
he's
O2 as well.
always losing shit. Of course, he's getting mad about this shit today.
Down the back straightaway hitting the turn 3 is Michael in the 2.
A haul truck turned over. It's fucking beyond me. We ain't got nothing to do with this little haul. All we do
And Michael, he didn't have a good lap 1, but lap 2 seemed to be fine with him. But hopefully he can turn around with the race.
didn't have to be there.
Be interesting to see what he can do.
They had to be there.
Got Michael in the 35, who's riding that wall in 3 and 4. I think he started in the middle and dripped his way to the top. He's finished with his qualifying lap.
Contractor driver out of Barn Hill.
So is the 02 of Dale. Just friendly reminder, that is not the real Dale Jr. If it was, the crowd ought to be cheering because he just qualified.
It goes to 24 now as that first group is done.
And he pissed me off, but I let him know.
Now, next truck to hit the track is Abernathy in the 24. Behind him is Bradley in the 32.
I told him.
And then we got Sal in the 99. And looks like, I can't tell who's the next truck behind Sal.
Abernathy got really tight in that corner, coming off 3 and 4.
Looks like he's one in the middle and 1 and 2, just up a little to the outside lane. The fourth truck on the track is Texas in the 3. And we're watching Bradley as it comes off of turn 4. He's going to complete his first lap, begin his second.
Oh, Abernathy in the wall.
That's going to hurt his second lap. So his
Also
second,
on the wall too.
basically that 24 truck's second lap is already done.
Yep.
Bradley is running the middle in 3 and 4, which I'm not surprised, but usually you would want the top, try to get all the speed you can out of your truck. But Sal the 99 is completing his lap, and Texas in the 3 comes off of turn 4 now to complete his lap. And there he goes. Kept it off the wall. Never mind. Never mind, he hit the wall. Oh well. So the last 4 trucks hit the track are Sports Kid in the 22, got Quentin Law in the 45, Darth Cal in the 18, and it looks like Sheepy Pie in the 44. Interesting enough, as Sheepy makes his way to the track now, there's only one up. He just hit the inside pit wall already. But interesting enough, I think Sal's the only Ford in the field. Which is, I mean, at this point, I'm not surprised. Because usually I was the only Toyota in the Cup Series last year. Weasel was the only Toyota in the National Series. Sheepy got really loose out of turn 4 there on his warm-up lap. He got really loose. But I'm not
running the outside lane there.
Sheepy ran
closer to the wall than Bradley.
The Sheepy about ran the same line as Bradley on his qualifying lap. Looks like Quentin Line's running a higher line than Sheepy.
Wow, Kylo like running Larson line there.
Sheepy will begin lap 2 now. And now he's still running the middle in 1 and 2. Is that white 44 truck?
18 kissed the wall there.
It's just a scratch. As Sheepy makes his way to 3 and 4, he's going to get a touch loose coming out of turn 4, but it shouldn't hurt him at all. Get Sports Kid here on the 22, going down the back straightaway, heading into turn 3. Coming out of turn 4 and heading for home.
Kylo's second lap was pretty good.
Sports Kid in his first truck race in about, I think, 6 months. Maybe longer than that.
I want to say since Kentucky or Pocono.
Because I believe Pocono was after Kentucky in the truck series. So I think Pocono was like in July. So it's
Kentucky and I think Kentucky and Pocono were both July. I want to say.
yeah, because I think Kentucky was like around Independence Day, somewhere around there. Like it was after Daytona, and after Chicago. But that was last year. This year's schedule is a whole complete change. So I believe Daytona is still the Independence Day weekend. Yep, so like that guy mentioned, I don't know who he is, but thank you for the update. Qualifying is officially over. And while we get the qualifying results in, we'll see, try to get some drivers in here.
If anyone won that poll, just looking off how they ran their lap, I would definitely pick that 18 truck.
Well, speaking of the 18 truck, let's try to get him in here again, because we tried to get him in before qualifying, and he didn't join us because he was focused on qualifying. So now that qualifying is officially over, we'll see if we can get that 18 truck in here. By the way, we got a couple of comments from my teammate in the Cup Series, KD, aka Brett. He asked, he asked us how we're doing. I'm doing all right. What about you, man?
Doing pretty good. Just chilling.
And KD also asked how many laps in this race. I believe there was 100 laps in this race, and 3% on the tire wear and fuel consumption. So pit stops are going to be very frequent here, which is a new rule change for the truck series, along with a couple new rules, basically in all three series. There's only one particular new rule, and that is the leader gets to pick the lane for both the initial start and the restarts, rather than just the restarts. If you won the pole for the beginning of the race, you had to start on the inside lane, whether you wanted to or not. Most of the time you would, but you have the option to do that now. And for the truck series, they used to run 4 times wear and fuel consumption. Now they toned it down to 3 times, so pit stops are not going to be as frequent as usual, but they're going to be a lot less. It's still going to be jockeying for position on pit road. There's still going to be some strategy to play with the new fuel tire wear and fuel consumption strategies that the drivers have to go through today. But waiting on Darth Kylo here in the 18, and I don't think he's going to join us.
I don't either.
Meanwhile, let's try to get another driver here. Let's get Bradley in here. Driver of the 32 truck. Who won the National Series race at Daytona last week. And he also he could have won the truck race at Daytona too, but I think the Cup race he had problems throughout the race, so that kind of hindered him a little bit. But we'll see if we can get him in here real quick. Alright, sent the invite to Bradley, and he should be joining soon.
Wow, Bradley with 4 straight poles.
That is
with a 24.091. Wow.
Okay.
There's Bradley. How are you?
I feel good. I'm seeing my qualifying.
Darth Kylo, we had a 24.6.
So,
And if Predator was in here, he would say, "Hey, that's my favorite number."
If Brian's speaking, I can't hear him because it's still flashing.
Because it's 666.
don't worry. Well, now it's 4 poles in a row for you. So, how do you feel knowing that you are currently on a pole streak?
I just gotta keep it there. I haven't kept it there all weekend besides the Xfinity race. I ended up getting back to the front and stay at the front. Looking forward to keep the streak going. Hopefully get tomorrow's and Sunday's pole as well.
Now, the Iowa's a very unique track because it offers a lot of variety in terms of different lines, different grooves, and there's like a couple little kinks as a track you would say, because there's as Ryan mentioned to me, there's a seam on the somewhere between the mid to the outside lane, and I don't know if it's just 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 or both, but what line are you going to be wanting tonight, and are you going to be trying to avoid that seam at any cost?
I'm gonna try to keep it off the seam as much as I can, but I want to be running the top side, but if for whatever reason, at some point in the race, the bottom's faster, I'll go down there and venture on.
Ryan, you got any questions for him?
No. I was gonna ask a funny question saying, Bradley, why are you cheating? But, nah.
This is my track. Fast at it.
That is true.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I do have a question though. Saying that this is your track, how confident are you, especially now being on pole?
I feel real confident. I just gotta manage my tires and stay ahead of that 22 truck, and I should be good.
Okay.
Alright. Well, good luck to you, Bradley. Hopefully you can get your second win in, I believe, 5 starts now. And hope to see you in victory lane.
Thank you.
No problem.
Sal got second too. That was pretty in. So Sal's showing the same speed he did pretty much all year last year, especially at the end of the year.
Yeah, he unfortunately had that
He would have made the
altercation.
final 4
Yeah,
if it wasn't for that blown engine.
yeah, that definitely hindered him. If he made a championship 4 last year, he probably would have been. He would definitely been a threat for the championship last year.
I don't think Landrod wins it.
Yeah.
But I think Sal, even though he was supposed to go to, I believe, the 00, or not, I don't know, I can't remember. But he wanted to come back down to have a redemption year. And right now, it's looking pretty good.
Yep. So let's see if we can get Sal in here real quick as he qualifies P2. And get him in here. This probably will be the last interview before the drivers meeting, but we might try to get one more in before the drivers meeting, and if we can't, then we'll just go over the starting lineup. You already know that the front row is going to be Bradley in the 32, and we got the second place starter here, Sal, driving the number 99 truck. How are you, Sal?
I'm very good. How are you guys?
Doing all right.
Doing pretty good.
Now, if I remember correctly, I don't think you won a pole last year. If you did, it might have slipped under the radar in my head. But I believe this is your best career start. I believe second place. So knowing that you're going to be on the front row with a Cup driver like Bradley, how are you going to handle the very beginning of this race?
It's definitely something. I mean, I feel like last year this helped us start a string of momentum. For the season, we had our best run, and I did start on the pole a couple times towards the end, I think. But yeah, it feels great to be able to be up there, beat out a couple of the Cup drivers. Let's just hope we could stay there.
Now, we asked Bradley about what line he's gonna run. He said he was gonna try to run the top if he can, but if he can't, then he'll just just stay in the middle, maybe the bottom. But I'm gonna ask the same question to you. What line do you think you're gonna be running tonight?
I feel we've been practicing a little, and I felt like the outside was the place to be. I could make it stick on the inside a couple times, but definitely that outside middle groove is gonna be what I'm gonna want during this race, where the truck feels more comfortable.
Ryan, you got any questions?
Yeah. So, you do call this year a redemption year, especially after blowing an engine at the end of the right before ISM started, which was a heartbreaker because you were one of the favorites to go into the Final Four. So, does this really boost your confidence starting on the front row, especially with someone like Bradley, who's very fast at Iowa?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you said, this is. I had the opportunity to move up. I felt like I had unfinished business here in the trucks. The confidence has been there since the drop of the checkered flag last season. I knew what I could do. I won a race at Michigan, won a couple poles, showed up some speed there towards the end. I know what I'm capable of, and now proving that I can run up there with people like Bradley, I feel like this is going to be something big and something special the rest of the season.
Definitely be fun to watch.
Yep. Good luck to you, Sal. I believe the drivers' meeting will be starting in about a minute or two, and hope to see you again a good one tonight.
Alright, thanks for having me.
No problem. Yeah, we got about 2 minutes left till the drivers' meeting, so we'll see. We'll get the starting line up real quick, and then we'll get y'all to hear the drivers' meeting.
So, you want me to start with the front row?
Yep.
You got 32 of Bradley, and then you got the 99 of Sal, both very fast drivers, and see what they got tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see those two drivers. Basically, going to be running right around each other, maybe. But I wouldn't count out Row 2. I wouldn't count out that 22 Sports kid. He's pretty fast no matter what truck or car he's in. And the 45 Quint lot, just like Sports, he's fast pretty much any week that you could throw in a good engine in that truck. So Bradley will have some work cut out for him for basically with the Sports and Quint lot starting right behind him.
Then you got the 02 truck starting. No, you got Austin in the 3 starting 5th, and then you got 02 Dale in the starting 6th. Those two guys showed speed during practice, have decent speed during qualifying. Watch out for them, they could be a player.
Then Row 4, you got the 24 Abernathy, who I'd say, well, he's starting mid-pack, so it basically in a 12 truck field, 11 or 12 truck field, that's kind of disappointing. But if it was like maybe a 20 truck field, I'll be very happy because that's like middle of the pack. But the 18 North Carolina, that's actually a pretty disappointing. That's disappointment to me because usually North Carolina is usually pretty fast, but unfortunately starting P8 out of currently 11 trucks. So it'll be interesting to see if that 18 truck get up to the front.
As a driver's meeting is underway.
The lag out lap is lap 5. So if you lag out before lap 5, then we'll restart the race and come get you. If you lag out after lap 5, sorry. Have a good night. Everyone gets 1 lag out per race. Pace speed for tonight is going to be 50 miles an hour, 50. Both stages are going to be 29 laps. So, first stage will end at the end of 29, beginning of 30. Second stage will be 29 laps. The pits close with 2 laps to go in both stages. After the stages, please try to be quiet so I can get the stage results. When the yellow comes out, race back to the line and then slow it down to pace speed. Then we'll stay single file until we open the pits, and then after the pits, people who are a lap down will get their lap back. Then we'll go green when we can. When we're pitting, guys, under yellow, enter single file. So if you pass someone because you're like speeding up, trying to pass them or whatever, you'll go to the back of the, you'll restart at the back, and then the commitment box for tonight is going to be the actual box. So you can hit it with your tires, but literally like that box is the only thing you can hit. So it's pretty freaking small. So if you hit it, then you hit it, and you'll go to the. I think you can put your tires like barely on the left of the box, but pretty much whenever you hit the line, it pretty much takes you into pit road. So just be careful of that. Obviously, if you try to fake out and still pit, then you're not going to get penalized. But just keep that in mind. So the commitment box is actually the box. Our opinion or green, there's no specific way you can enter. However, when you exit pit road, you do have to wait until you get to the back stretch. With that being said, there's a part of the double yellow, or the line, where it goes from a single yellow line to a double yellow line. You can enter the track when you get to that double yellow line. So that can be your point of reference. For the restarts, leader controls the restarts within the restart box. I don't think there's a big blue box here. I think it's just two lines that are painted on the wall. I don't know if they're on the apron, but I know for sure they're on the wall. So if the second place guy beats the leader of the line, he has to give the spot back. If he doesn't, then he'll come down pit road for a pass through. Last thing for restarts is you can't change lanes off the start finish line. If you do, then same thing. If you don't get the spot back, you go do a pass through. And then the last thing, there are no cautions the first 3 laps after any restart and the race. So cautions will be available starting on the 4th lap of each thing. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns pertaining to the race?
What's the pit road speed?
I don't know.
40, I think. 40, yeah. 40.
Pace speed is 50. Pit road speed, I have no fucking.
It's 40.
Okay. 40. Pit road is a very difficult thing to get onto. So if we do have green flag pit stops, be careful.
3 laps to go for the finish, and there's no cautions.
What? 5 laps at the end of the race.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no cautions the last 5 laps of the race. And then Bradley, did I miss anything? No belief. Alright, start the timer. Let me invite these 2 clowns.
I heard that, Texas. And we're not clowns. Well, Wyan may be a clown, but I'm not. But just kidding, Wyan. But that's gonna do it for part number 2 of the Checkered Flag Pistol Nascar live stream for the Truck Series at Iowa. Hopefully y'all can join us in part number 3, and we'll see y'all there.